recorded. And this is
It-
5 seconds now. 6 seconds, 7, and are we live?
I think we are.
All right. You think it's safe? Watch.
think it's
None of this will be in the intro, and it will pick up when I say, and welcome to another one. 22 seconds. I just want to mark that. We'll see how much of this was actually in the intro. I'm Rob, and I'm joined again by Brendan. If you watched last night's live stream, hopefully some people join. Hopefully, if my brother joins, what up? And last night we got cut off early, but we're going to dive back into some stuff. If you don't know, Brendan has a channel, Ample Thought. And I didn't even look up. Did you look up what the handle is? Is it just at Ample Thought?
At Ample Thought, that's all it is.
All right, perfect. So you can find him at Ample Thought. Oh, there's already one person. If this is my brother, hello. I don't know how to see the chat. Let me see if I can. I'm not going to mess with buttons right now. I can't.
I hope it's my people.
It might be your people. So if you can go subscribe, because he does have a back catalog. But is there anything for a forward catalog? What's the vision for the channel? Or are you just like, if creativity hits me, I'll do something?
It's hard because I try to be focused, but I often don't do that. Again, some of it started with music, and then it morphed into a lot of the movie, cinema critique stuff. And then some more absurdist, like slight comedy routines, as it were. But like I said last night, it initially started with this notes on immigration thing. So I like, and we were just talking about different channels. I like the way certain channels break down certain things or TV shows.
Are you a YouTube watcher? Like some people, I realized this. So back in 2017, when I really dedicated myself to my channel, I started this channel in 2008 or 11.
Right.
But when I started actually, paying attention to what YouTube was doing, I realized one thing. There are people in life that watch YouTube, and I don't mean like a tutorial or how to, or like you broke your toilet, I'm going to go to YouTube. I mean, people that use it as TV now. And then
Yeah.
there are people that look at you like you're nuts when you're like, oh, I watch YouTube. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
YouTube is my thing. So are you one of those people, or are you in the latter category?
I am now, more so than before. I would say that, I mean, cable had a lot to do with that. I got rid of my cable a while ago. And because I was watching certain things like, newscasts about certain things, now listen to it basically doing chores or whatever. I'll listen to it even though it's on YouTube in my pocket. If it's not a podcast on Spotify or something, I'll listen to it as I'm, doing my daily stuff, whatever it is. So yes, I do that for news channels. I do it for comedy podcasts and stuff like that. We talked about some more news was one thing, but as I also mentioned last night, sometimes I listen to things like lessons from the screenplay. I listen to more commentary stuff when somebody fascinating, let's just say, is on Joe Rogan. I usually listen to the critiques about the person who is on Joe Rogan. Jordan Peterson would be one of those people. One of the Weinstein brothers would be one of those people. I like the critique, and I like the arguments, and I like the breakdown. And I do honestly like hearing things from as many angles as I can. We can get into it another time, but Hamas and Palestine, the Ukraine war. I mean, a lot of these things have different perspectives from different people, and I'm not saying they're all equally as valid, but
And
it's
some
good.
of them aren't valid at all.
Right.
But they're all here. This is about being a creator on this platform. I just want to mention too, I figured out the chat just comes up. Can you see the chat?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. So I'm learning as we go. Dr. GTI16V is in the chat. So I just want to say what's up. And he said, not sure what brought me here. Like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, again, I'm like probably one of the worst best YouTubers, heavy emphasis on the worst, because I don't like to push the like, subscribe, share, whatever else there is. And
Mhm.
I feel like there's so many people that do that really well that I haven't found my niche to integrate that. Because there are YouTubers that do it in such a clever. That's the one thing that sold me on YouTube being my main platform for consuming entertainment is with typical media, whether it's movies, TV, I don't know what else there would be, but there's like a formula. There's a
Yeah,
very strict formula. It's a TV show, it's 22 minutes, you're in, there's the problem, there's the solution, there's the side story. And on YouTube, people shattered that mold and just did whatever was in their brain. And when they do that well, and there are some truly creative people on here, it makes you feel so small as a creator because you're like, damn, the wittiness, the brilliance of that, and you almost, I'm fine with people biting that style because I've done it. I copied my way through the past few years of people that were really talented, or in hopes to kind of develop my own thing. But I
right.
still feel like, the traditional, like, make sure you like, subscribe and share, and tell a friend or whatever is the best I'm gonna do at it. So I leave it out so often. Like if you watch the past few videos, I don't even think I say or put it on the screen.
Everybody knows what to do now. I mean, it's kind of like having a phone
But they
or
don't.
a voice. Well, I mean, they don't, whether they're going to or not ever. You're reminding them probably isn't going to change anything any more than you calling a landline and having a machine answer it. Do they really need to tell you, Rob? Like, leave your phone number
After the beep.
and I'm not here, just in case you didn't know. Like, you're talking to a machine. I'm not here. Okay, I got that. You should
That's
leave your number. Unless it's your mom or your dad or somebody's like, "Hey kid, it's me calling you. It's your dad." Like, yeah, dad, I know.
Listen, that is it fascinating. You could do a double blind study if we took both of our phone numbers and I didn't leave anything and I just said, I don't even know what we could say, but this is a way to test it, right? And we don't say anything. One message is just like, I'm Rob. Did you know that? And then it just beeps and see if people leave a message, right? And we give them no instruction.
Right.
And then you leave one and you say, hey, it's me. I'm away from the phone. I need you to leave a message and do it after the beep and see who gets more messages, you or me. Because I'm so fascinated by when I look at my metrics on the YouTube studio, it will say 99.8% of your viewers are not subscribed. And I think, how are they finding me? Why are they not subscribed? And how do you get them to subscribe? Because when I first started, every big YouTuber, I talked to some big YouTubers too, like Omar Gosh, who has 3 million on one channel, I think a million on another. And me and him would message a few times and I would ask him like tips. And it was always the basic stuff like be consistent,
Yeah.
make sure you direct people to liking your videos, subscribing, because the algorithm is going to eat you alive if you don't. But it's like, how do you do that? I figure the most creative ones, the people I really give a subscriber like to, outside of the ones like I'm like, I need to hear from them, are the ones that do it in such a brilliant fashion. You
Yeah.
know, those are the ones where I go, wow, you just earned my subscribe right there.
Yeah.
So, as much as you think like you don't need to tell people, I feel like you really do.
What
But
are
you have
your
to.
favorite What are your favorite YouTube channels? If you want to say them.
Yeah, 100%. I love doing this. This is like the worst quality about me because I'll spend my whole podcast, like I have an audio podcast, and then
Mhm.
I'll do this stuff and I'll be like, you know who you should be watching? It's not this channel, it's XY, and I'll just rattle off and I'll be like, go subscribe to them. I'm better at telling people to subscribe to your channel than I am to mine. Um,
Right.
I like so what I get my news on is some more news. Uh,
They will
I
love to hear that if they ever see this video.
They never will. But Cody and Katie are mwah,
Mwah.
chef's kiss to the
Absolutely.
YouTube realm.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, what I'm going to have to do is do some research because there is some weird, I forget what his name is. It's Bill Wirtz. Do you know who I'm talking about? And
I don't.
he just does songs I'm pretty sure. Hold on, I have to look this up because he did this one video that has like I think a billion views, and it's called "A History of the World." And it is so effing brilliant. If you have not watched it, it's almost like as a human
Maybe I
you owe
have
it to
heard that.
yourself.
History
Well,
of the
because
world, maybe I've heard.
yeah, hold on. I just want to look this up. Bill Wirtz, I'm pretty sure. But people, like you said, people, yes, it is Bill Wirtz. Um, people have essentially history of the entire world, comma, I guess 6 years ago, 162 million views. 162 million. And this video is so brilliant. When I first watched it, I went, I have done nothing with my life. This guy is my hero. And he releases like 1 minute songs every 6 months, maybe. But what I also like is watching people who break down who he is, because he doesn't like do a vlog where he's like, this is my life. And they've broken down like he went to, I forget what school, like a musician school. He's super talented. They broke down like his songs and how they're really geniusly written.
Berkeley School of Music.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. But hold on, I'll show you the channel. I think I could do this on YouTube.
Okay.
All right, yeah, okay.
This is
I got
wicked
it.
meta, right? This is
Oh,
like
yeah.
so,
Again,
and
Black Mirror.
we're totally Black Mirroring right now. So this is the dude. It's not focused in Bill Wirtz
got it.
and history of the world, entire world, I guess. And you can tell he's smart. You can tell he's funny. And he really sold me on like, holy F, YouTube is probably one of the greatest inventions of modern man because
Really?
without listen to me, without this medium
Mhm.
without this medium we would never know about people like him. He's not getting a TV show.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it sounds like you're saying like uh, you could just as easily say without the smartphone, the world would not be this small, or people would not be that connected. I'm like, you're right, but the telephone had to exist before that, right? So,
Okay, I get
I
what you're
mean,
saying.
turtles all the way down, as it were. We can, keep going back with what have you. But I agree. I think it's a great platform, especially for um, I mean, for many years, but I mean, look at internet memes and cultural phenomenon that we get from YouTube. I agree on that aspect. I don't think it's the greatest invention in modern history, or since sliced bread, or Betty White, or anything else.
You're probably right, but so and that's why I say like I have some favorites that like the old
Yeah, tell me more.
reliables, but those are like the odd ones that I really love, like Danny Gonzalez. I don't know if you've ever watched his stuff. He just does straight commentary, but it's hilarious.
Hmm.
Um, what's the other dude who is the redheaded bearded dude who's a comedian and he's always all over Twitter? Um,
Not Steve.
Steve Hofstetter. He
no.
on the beard.
Oh my God, I can't believe I can't think of his name right now. I'm gonna have to come up with a better list. You know who I used to watch and I thought he was fascinating, and I watched him also degrade over time. And I'm talking like 3 years ago when he got on YouTube, was Russell Brand.
Yeah.
I thought,
For me, that's
A tragic story, tragic, and then odd because he got so big so quick, and then he got sick with, and I say sick with drug addiction, and then he was reinventing his life, and now it would seem in the past 2 years he's gone a different way, and I find it doubly tragic in that way. And I mean, we could talk about this now or another time, but that goes back to the Jordan B. Peterson stuff that I was talking about with you. So, um,
yeah, that's a lot.
well, and when I found his YouTube channel, and did you ever watch Jack Black's YouTube channel?
no,
No.
Oh, you
Good.
have so I think it was the beginning of the pandemic. Um, he he started like a alleged gaming channel. You
Hmm.
know, like he was like, I'm gonna game on this, and it turned out to just kind of be like a life vlog, and he never got his computer set up, and he maybe gamed twice on it. It's
Oh my
very
gosh,
Jack
that's fun.
Blackian.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, go watch Jack Black's channel. You could probably watch all of it in a night because his videos were like 2 minutes long, very
Oh,
funny. Um, but I remember when Jack Black and Russell Brand came to YouTube, which was not long ago. We're talking within the past 5 years.
hmm.
I thought, especially when COVID hit, I thought every celebrity would only be doing themselves justice if they didn't have a complete jerk of a personality by starting their own channel. You know,
Hmm.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
Twitter. Like Twitter, these celebrities can in real time just kind of talk and connect with their fans.
Yeah.
And I thought they could also dominate the platform because their name brings a legion of an audience.
Yeah.
And most of them don't, but the Jack Black, the Russell Brand, I'm trying to think who else is like religiously on YouTube as an independent celeb. There's not many.
I mean, as far as comedians, actors, singers, artists, I mean, certain artists, certain authors, I think are on there a lot. I know Stephen King's been on or was on YouTube for a long time. I know many comedians have used it. I mean, from SNL cast people to Mad TV people, College Humor people, so on and so forth.
That's true.
Um, but yeah,
Will,
no,
Will Ferrell had what was it, Funny or Die,
Funny or
which
Die, but
created great
amazing,
content.
amazing. Yeah, it was really good.
And you know how I utilized it too a lot? Once we cut the cord on cable too, like Saturday Night Live, after they run it, they'll post everything to
Now,
YouTube.
yeah,
So you don't need TV. You can just watch it all here. Um,
yeah.
but man, what are some of your favorite channels? Because I guarantee you, if you started saying stuff, I feel like I'm blanking on all the big or all the old reliable names that I just go back to, you know? And oh, you know what else? A lot of paranormal stuff. Whether it's fake or not, I'm not here to debate. I find it fascinating and I love that realm. That is like my niche. If I could
To
do
what
that for a living.
extent? Wait, are we talking just ghost stuff? Or are we talking Bigfoot, Skinwalker, UFO, ancient? What do they call it? Ancient aliens, stuff like that.
Uh, I kind of draw the line. It's more about haunted, anything haunted with a really old history. Like that's my
Like
it.
Salem.
like Salem.
Salem. Or there's these people in corn. Oh, hold on one second. Hold on. Yeah.
And he's off again.
On Spider-Man? Buddy, I'll come and help you in about 15 minutes. Is it really hard? Yeah. Okay. Well, I told you gotta up. There's a lot of guys. Okay, do you want to pause it and you can watch? Okay, why don't you pause it? Okay, then okay. Hold on one second. I gotta save this game for him. He's playing the new Spider-Man. You can just again, don't get me kicked off YouTube, but say whatever you want. And I'm gonna keep my earpiece in so you're gonna hear me. I gotta just save. I gotta save this for him because I told you the new Spider-Man. What is it? Spider-Man 2 came out. And this kid, when I say he has not stopped playing, I remember I told you I was like, he'll usually give it to me at the hard parts. That's what he was doing right now. This is the first time, and this is no joke. This is the first time today. What time is it? 8 o'clock at night, where he has actually asked me to help him. Earlier, I was like, "Hey, do you think
Fine by me.
I could?" No, it wasn't fine by me. You don't understand. Did you watch any of this? Any of the gameplay on YouTube?
I did not.
You're missing out. I've watched him play.
I'll look at it at some point.
I just didn't see it today.
Okay, you have to because this game. Did you like any of the Marvel movies?
I mean, there were like 43 of them, right? So yeah, I
Yeah.
like some of them.
Okay. If
Yeah.
you liked any of those and like you like Spider-Man as a character,
Yeah, Into the
watch.
Spider-Verse, that was super cool. The Homecoming was good. I mean, other Marvel stuff was good, but yeah, I've always liked Spider-Man.
Okay, cool. So yeah, because he's like one of the most popular. Like
Yeah.
he's very likable as a superhero.
Nobody hates
Spider-Man. Nobody's like, oh my god,
That's
who's your favorite character? Spider-Man? What are you, 5? Like, I don't think anyone's really saying that. Like,
No,
grow
I've
up,
never-
hippie.
I've never heard that.
I've
That's
never
a
heard that either.
That's a good point. Because he is like, and Stan Lee, I watched an interview where Stan Lee was talking about Spider-Man, and he said, you know why he wears the mask? It's because it could be anybody. And that was like the point of Stan Lee putting a mask on him and not relegating him to, well, outside of having to be a man, until later times when they had Spider-Woman and stuff. But this game,
Mm-hmm.
I had so much to do today, and I kind of told you off the live stream, like
Yeah.
the stuff I had to do. I was late a couple of times because he was playing, and I was like totally lost. It opens almost like a movie, and I don't want to spoil too much, but you get these major Spider-Man bad guys, like bam, 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 right after one another, and the graphics are so good, and the cutscenes where it's like the story of the video game are
Mm-hmm.
so well written that you can just watch this video game without playing and absolutely be enthralled. So I was doing that, but then I was like, hey, like, can I just try? I was like, can I just like swing around the city for a minute? He was like, no. he was like, you're not touching this. And I was like, bud, you've been playing for 6 hours. Let me swing like for 2 minutes easily. But again, he's sick. He's homesick. So it's like,
Hey,
what
I'm
else
not
is he gonna
judging.
do? To be honest, I didn't care if he was sick or not. I was going to let him do it just because it's like a big event. And I took the controller because I was like, I'm your father. I'm pulling rank. And I forced him. He wasn't giving it up. So I really had to
Brought
be
you
like,
into this world, I can take you out.
no, you know what I told him? I said, I'll take the PlayStation and put it in my office. It's like, I'll just
Punishment enough.
remove it.
That's a threat enough. That's strategic deterrence right there.
I had to do it though because I just couldn't watch any longer. And for like, I get to swing maybe 3 city blocks, which takes all of no minutes. And he
Right.
ripped the controller out of my hand. He was like, "That's enough. You've had
That's
enough."
out of you.
No, that's disgusting. You should
know-
give yourself.
You know what I had to do? So I was making, we were texting. I was making the kids dinner. I kept like throwing my phone down, and I served him dinner. And I went over and saved his game and started a new one. And he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm going to play this for a minute." I was like, "You spent our money, and I'm going to get to play." So I had to start an entirely new game just so I could do some stuff without him screaming at me. And then he made me shut it off. Like he all of a sudden took the dad role, and he was like, "Okay, you've had enough time. I need to get back to my stuff now."
Yeah,
That's
you have
how
stuff.
To do so, like, feed me and pay attention to your family.
that's how good this game is. I'm not kidding. If you are not into
a
video
ring
games,
from
Lord of the Rings, you became Smeagol really quickly. Got it.
insanely, like I was almost ready to threaten him with like an early bedtime. So
Or
it's like,
violence. I don't know.
whatever it is, we'll go back to
whatever needs to
spanking.
happen.
Hey, the belt will come off. Hold on. Gons Fam Bam. By the way, if you say the belt will come off at work, people look at you funny. I had to say that on Wednesday. And when I joke, people don't pick up on it because I'm like, who could say that? Like seriously, But
Many
people.
people who don't care. I live in the Midwest, and I hear it at in the parking lot of Walmart or whatever, and I'm like, please, people, loosen up. Like, nothing is so bad that your 8-year-old is doing that
right.
should cause such a wicked response. But whatever.
But I'm telling you, I forget who I was saying that to, and I was totally joking, and people like stopped working and were like, "Excuse me." I was like, "Oh, I forgot what kind of age we're living in."
I think we need to call
Money.
Yeah, you're going to jail now.
Hold on. So, Gons Fam Bam, what is up? I am so curious at how people find my channel because, let's be honest, I'm shadow banned. But hey, I'm wicked happy to have you here, Gons Fam Bam, and I love that the chat just comes up. I'm excited about that because I really want to be able to see who's.
I saw it on my side too. That's great.
Cool. Okay, so I forget what we were talking about.
Channels. So I'm just going to give you a list. So, of the top 10, I think I can think that I see the most. I'll do it in reverse order from like how I watch it during the day. So I fall asleep almost every single day to one of these next two channels. PBS Space Time is hosted by a guy named Matt O'Dowd. He has a doctorate in astrophysics. I believe it's astrophysics. He is a great host for the show, and it breaks down all kinds of quantum mechanics, anything space-time related that you could possibly think of. But it's interesting. I love they don't really go into the math sometimes, but even the idea of black holes and how far, breaking down how photons work, or the Higgs boson, or any of that stuff. So that's one channel I listen to. It's space-time stuff. Very similar to that is another channel called Astrum. Astrum is Matt O'Dowd is Australian. I believe this next kid is British, and I can't remember his name. Anyway, he does a lot of space-related stuff. He broke down all of the solar system at one point. He talks about asteroids, comets, black holes, everything. So I love falling asleep to that stuff. I don't know what it is. During the day, so past that, during the day, I'm either watching or listening to Sam Cedar, the Majority Report with Sam Cedar. I listen to some more news every time they have an episode come out. I listen to And Some More News, or the podcast that they have on Spotify. It's the
Yeah. And more news, or and some more news.
I love that show. I still subscribe to David Pakman. Howard Stern listens to David Pakman, I think, and he talked about why he likes him, and a lot of it was this kind of, he has this approach in a modern way of being kind of a Walter Cronkite. He doesn't put too much opinion into his own thing. You could say somebody's crazy. You could say somebody is a liar. He doesn't say that. He'll say, this is fascinating stuff. Or, man, watch this hearing in the Capitol today. It was really wild. Or he'll say, I mean, he does get on Trump quite a bit, saying, unhinged, civilly liable rapist, former president Donald Trump. Like, that's his quote that's his description of Donald Trump every time now.
It's very Cronkitean.
I mean, it really is. He's not saying anything that is wrong.
Yeah.
He is a civilly liable. Anyway, so I don't even like using the word on YouTube or anything like that. But anyway, so I love Sam Cedar. I really appreciate David Pakman. I like checking out every now and then some old things from College Humor. Some of the old bits that what was his name? Lee Brennan. Oh, Brennan Lee. Anyway.
I don't remember.
College Humor. I like some of that old stuff or whatever. But have you ever seen Oversimplified? It's a history channel, and it's in all cartoon style. And the guy talks really quickly, and he breaks down like the Civil War. He breaks down World War I. He breaks down small wars like the Football War and the 6 Days War and all of this stuff.
Yeah, I love that channel.
I appreciate those breakdowns. And if it's not history, if it's not some more sciencey stuff, as I've mentioned, I still like the movie stuff. There are a lot of channels. One of my favorite comedy ones for that is oh my gosh, why am I blanking right now? CinemaSins. There we go. CinemaSins is, they took YouTube. We were talking about creative users and people who just have dominated this platform. That's one of them.
Have you, hold on, because you're listing these things off and you just triggered at least two. Maybe I already forgot the third, but I want to show you. Have you ever watched Climate Town?
No.
Climate Town. This guy has a master's in whatever it is, climate change. I don't know, but his name's Raleigh Williams, and I'm trying to think what he is like. I forget oh God, now I'm blanking on everything. He looks like two comedians had a baby, and the way he talks and his mannerisms are very much the guy from Arrested Development and who does the Reese's peanut butter cup commercials. I forget his name. and some other dude. He looks and sounds just like these two comics, and he's brilliant. And these are the people that like I find, and you go, wow, he has a master's degree and he's good at comedy. Like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
So, and Climate Town does really like statistically, factually accurate deep dives onto, you know, like the carbon footprint, and that BP created that to kind of put the onus on people. And so they're really brilliant videos, but the whole time it's like a satirical joke, you know. So if you haven't checked him out, do it. And then do you watch Second Thought?
Oh my gosh, that sounds so familiar, and I can't think
Second
of it what
Thought,
is right now.
it's another brilliant. This guy used to work at Best Buy, and now he has a million sub YouTube. But he breaks down like what's socialism, what is Marxism, the problem with authoritarianism. This is another dude
Okay.
that I would highly, highly recommend. Funny enough, when he started on YouTube a few years ago, I kept writing in the comments, like, please come on my podcast. I want to interview you. I thought it was so fascinating that this guy was working at like the camera department of Best Buy, happened to start on YouTube, and then exploded. He's obviously extremely talented, very smart, but that journey for people, like what made him fully commit to it. I don't know if someone's yelling for me or not. But you know, that like just the fact that he's doing YouTube now, and he'll mention it in his videos, is so fascinating to me, because this is a guy who he'll say on YouTube, like, I can't get sponsors. Coca-Cola isn't running ads on my thing, or you know, whatever the traditional Capital One, you know, he's like, I talk about how that system needs to be dismantled, how it's all BS, how there's propaganda. So he has a Patreon that I think he gets the majority of his funding for these videos from. But the fact that he just committed to that, you know, I'm sure people were like, you'll never make it, or whatever he heard, or the, you know, the backlash he faced, especially in that realm, you know, like the content he's creating is much harder to do in America.
Sure.
So those are two that I highly recommend. Even if you don't agree with the thought process, it's not your typical, hey, we're gonna put a Ferrari in a crusher and see what happens. You know, it's like,
I agree. Yeah.
you
I'm
know,
not a fan. I'm not personally a fan of Mr. Beast and stuff like that. I hate anything that's like impractical jokers,
yes,
or punked back in the day for us, you know, 80s and 90s kids. Like punked, it always put a bad taste in my mouth of like, why do this to someone? The worst one sticks in my head, and maybe this is why Ashton Kutcher or any of the people did it, was Jessica Biel was at a restaurant, and this kid came up, and it was something like this where he was like, hey, can you hold on to my backpack, whatever it was. And she was like, sure. And he like goes away and comes back with like a police officer, and he's like, this lady hit me. And she's like, why would I do that? Like, she was, I mean, I felt for her badly. Now, I mean, I never saw the humor in any of that stuff. And like at the very end, it's like, oh, we got you, Jessica. And she's like, you guys. And I'm like, what's funny about that exactly? Like, I would lose my mind.
well, so I think it was Patrick CC, who's a big YouTuber as well. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
I believe it was his channel. I just watched this video 2 weeks ago. They did a whole history of Punked, and kind of how Ashton Kutcher is not the lovable 70s guy, that 70s show guy that you think he
What?
is.
No way.
And they talked, you know, Punked originally was supposed to be not for celebrities. It was just supposed to be they're punking everyday people. And I
Yeah.
forget what happened, but a lawsuit like spawned out of the first episode. It was so hideous, whatever the prank they was. Again, I'll take some notes because we could totally do a whole live stream on this.
Yeah.
And the video is really well done. And then they showed how like they pivoted to celebrities because then people, everyday people, could feel like they were in on the joke. But even that caused issues, and he went through like this whole video was really interesting on how Punked should leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth. It's really not like a funny show. It could have been done I think, in a more humorous way if the gags were not, like you're saying, so weird.
Yeah,
Or just they just seem like the low hanging fruit. It was like the
absolutely.
obvious. Like there was no really clever thought to it. It was just like, what if we did this? And everyone went, sounds good. We got an episode to shoot. Um,
Which
and
is
then
different from something more wholesome. I say wholesome, like I never really got into it either, but like, do you remember the old candid camera type of
yes,
shows? Like candid camera, I mean, UK has a version, I believe Japan has a version, France has a version of these candid camera type of moments where it's very low stakes. And I mean, it started back in, I want to say the late 50s, early 60s of like, what would happen if we put in a camera in an elevator and everybody except this one person, like everybody's in on it except for the one person? What would happen if everybody walks into this elevator and turns around towards the wall?
yes,
And I've seen that video. I mean, again, this is from the late 50s, early 60s, and it is humorous to be like, wow, the amount of peer pressure, even as an adult, a 30, 40-year-old adult, if everybody turns around in an elevator after the fourth floor, you're just kind of like, well, I guess I'm like,
what am I missing out on?
it's a survival technique. Like, I mean, to me, the psychological aspect was amazing. There's no psychological nuance to punking somebody or smashing into somebody's car, and it was all a joke because Shaq, just kidding. We actually switched your car so your $200,000 car isn't destroyed by a bulldozer. It was just another $200,000 car that isn't yours. How amusing. Shaq, you dummy.
Like there's nothing to. That's what I mean. It's like it's very much the Logan Paul of TV.
Yes.
There's no thought. But I like what you're saying, and I think that's the route Punk could have totally taken. Something that it's kind of mind bending, where you're like, everyone gets in an elevator and faces towards the back. What do these celebrities do? And it would be fascinating to do
Yeah.
celebrities. Or even I always thought or after I watched this video, I thought, did you ever see the show? I think it was called What Would You Do on like NBC or CBS.
I don't
Or
recall.
so essentially, it was the guy that would fill in for Chris Hansen. I forget his name, but one of those like very uh, well spoken, pronounce every word thing. And they would do these scenarios where it was kind of like a candid camera. So the cameras were hidden and they would have two actors. The one I really remember is like two actors sitting at a bar and the girl would go to the bathroom, the guy would slip something in her drink, or
Yes, I did see it. I did see that show. Yes.
and then they would see, so they were the actors, and they would see if
The
the
surrounding people would be like, hey, somebody do just. I don't really like that either because, again, it gets into like the deviancy of human nature, or I shouldn't say human nature in that way, but like, what would you do the right thing if you saw a bank robber or like whatever? Like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't even like. I mean, and especially the idea of slipping something into a girl's drink, like that is like really bad.
yeah,
So, like, you're not. I mean, it's terrible to think like you're testing somebody.
but you are.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that show you
That was
definitely
the whole
are.
show. That was the whole show. They were, well, I mean, it was called What Would You Do? So it was
Right.
very much,
Kids getting bullied, stuff like that. I remember seeing it. To
yeah.
the
So
level of something like possible rape. Damn it, I said it again.
that's a
Possible
bleep.
sexual assault or something. That is like awful to me. I'm not saying that shouldn't be said or that shouldn't be illuminated. I agree that there might be a place for that. I can't. You said that show was on TBS.
No, NBC or
Oh,
it was one of
okay,
the main, one of the big three.
so
And it was,
that is a highlighting thing. I appreciate that. I don't. I don't know what else to say about it. Like
well, I
that's
think that
hard
would have
for
been
me.
fascinating for celebrities because one, you think every celebrity they're a celebrity because they have some sort of entitledness and not necessarily bad, but like they're like, I'm the one, I'm the person who should get this role, or I'm the one who should sing to you, just as a general like personality trait. Like you have to have.
No, I mean, you can have competence too. I mean, I loved hating on, for example, I loved hating on Ben Affleck as much as you do. I loved hating on Matt. I loved hating on certain celebrities. And then I saw some incredible work that they were doing or what have you. I think there is a level of competence. For example, if you saw John Malkovich on one of those shows, he has a certain confidence in himself, not as an actor, but just as a human on this planet for, more than 50 years or what have you. If you throw somebody like Billie Eilish into one of these silly or psychological testing situations, I don't know what
Psychological
she,
terror.
right, situations, I don't know what she's going to do that would be maybe any different from another 18, 19, 20-year-old than a John Malkovich. I
Who's
just wanted
very
to push back.
seasoned and
Yeah, I just wanted to push back on your idea of it having to be about entitlement or ego or something like that. I understand what you mean. I think I understand what you mean,
yeah,
but
because just I think anybody who can get, and again, not necessarily it can be to their detriment, but not necessarily. I think, like you were saying, it's not only competence but confidence.
yeah,
To have that kind of confidence, you have to believe in yourself, and to believe in yourself, you have to kind of figure like I'm the one who should be on stage. And I only say this because as somebody who has stood on a stage at like a radio event, the whole time in my head, I'm like, this is nuts. Why am I doing this?
right,
Like I should be up here. I'm not well equipped. I am not funny,
sure,
So to overcome that or to like hype yourself up, you got to really be like, no, no, no. I got to do, you have to have some of that, not necessarily in a bad way, but as in a Tony Robbins kind of puff your chest out, bang on your
fair
chest.
enough, fair enough.
So that's why I thought that show, What Would You Do, would be fascinating because you would assume, just generally, that these celebrities also being applauded by humanity all the time for portraying roles of actual great people, that they,
Or terrible people.
or hideous people, but that they, would of course act differently, so it would really make the ones, and I know this is horrible, but again, it's for likes and follows and clicks and ratings,
Yeah,
that the ones that didn't, we could as a society shame them even more.
it's awful. That's awful.
But it's more clever than punked, okay?
That is true. That is true. Speaking of more clever things, do you want to talk about the gaming thing that we're talking about, or do you want to talk about this military thing that we were talking about?
No, can we talk? Listen, this week has been all video games for me. So have you
Okay.
ever played Fortnite? Have
Yeah.
you ever played?
No, I mean, I played it the same way that you just played Spider-Man 2. That's how much I played Fortnite.
Oh, okay. Because
I
I've
didn't know
like,
how to build anything. I didn't know how to take stuff out of my back. I didn't know, like, I was the meme on SNL of like, I'm running into a wall, and my kids are like, "What are you doing?" And we have our
you
headgear on, and I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, "Turn around," and I'm like, "Do I fight now?" And they're like, "No, we're in the lobby." And I'm like, I don't know what we're on a magic bus. Oh, is this from the '70s? And they're like, "Oh my god,
so
you
you're
are so old."
what me and the kids call a noob, okay? I learned that
Oh,
language real quick. Yeah, you're a noob, a newbie.
oh,
I, because my son would play and then he would get like bored and he'd be like, Dad, you do it, to level him up so he could
ooh,
unlock skins or whatever. So I don't want to say I got really good, but I told him, I was like, listen, I'm going to just start doing this competitively. They have like a ranked version on Fortnite
yeah,
where I believe this is how it goes. Again, I'm kind of a noob in this realm, but if you level up enough, they have championships that they stream on YouTube where I just watched one last week, and these people compete for money. Like this is no
I
joke.
am aware of that. Yeah,
So
I
I've
saw the
been,
World Series, the first World Series of Fortnite. I saw that one.
and you see how good some of those people are, right? It's
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
yeah, yeah.
So I was unaware of all this until my son started playing. Then we kind of got into like the gimmick part of it,
Mm-hmm.
the skins, the themes. Right now, I think it was Monday or last week on Friday, we hit Fortnitemares. I think that's what it's called. Fortnitemares.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, so it's Fortnitemares 2023, and they announced, which this effing blew my mind. If you've seen the skins, right? I'm sure your kids made you
Yeah.
spend $1,000 million on them, right?
It was 1,000 million exactly to the penny. 1,000 million.
To the penny. I know, because I've had to do the same. But then I started like getting into it. I was like, oh, that skin looks cool, and I had to hold back. And then I'd wait for my son to say, like, can we get that one? I'd be like, twist my arm. All right.
Yeah.
So, and once you get into it, it's like fun because you're playing with these characters that totally don't fit the shooting genre.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yeah.
they're like gummy fish or like I'm trying to think some of the random ones.
That would be good. That'd be
Oh,
good.
that would be a well. They have like a Care Bear parody. It's a girl dressed up in a bear costume, like a fuzzy pink bear.
Yes, I've seen the girl.
Yeah, so they have all these generic ones. But then this week, my son was like, Jack Skellington. Jack Skellington's going to be in Fortnite, and I'm like, no, he's not.
No.
I'm like, you understand,
He's
son?
not.
That is a Disney property, and
Right.
Disney is like very meticulous on what they allow these properties to do. And he kept pushing, and I Googled it, and no shit. I mean, YouTubers were exploding over this because I think it's the first Disney character to come to Fortnite.
I don't know, but that would be. It sounds like it would be.
I believe it. I haven't researched, but I'm pretty sure. Well, all the YouTubers were talking about this is like kind of groundbreaking that Jack Skellington, the beloved Nightmare Before Christmas lead
Yeah.
clay figure, is going to be rolling into Fortnite Island with shotguns ablazing, which is nuts.
Well, I mean, the one big one that I remember in a similar context of like that's not happening is during I think it was at the very beginning of the pandemic. My kiddo comes up to me and says, "Hey, you know that DJ Marshmallow?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've heard what you're talking about." He's like, "He's going to be in Fortnite," and I was like, "Oh, you mean like a skinny?" He's like, "Well, that too, but he's actually going to be in Fortnite." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "There's this huge live event. You know, can I pay for it or can I look at it or whatever it was?" And I was like, "Sure, buddy." And this DJ, internationally known DJ. I mean, again, to me, it's like I think international DJ. I think like DJ Shadow and like Skrillex. Like I mean,
Skrillex, yeah.
Dead Mouse, certain names, and then I think Dead Mouse has been on there too, or as Peter Griffin would say, Dead Mouse 5. So Marshmallow was on there, and it was like an actual event, and I was
Yeah.
just blown away by that. So again, go into the Disney thing. So we have Jack Skellington. That's real. That's actually happening.
Hold, yeah, that is. Hold on a sec. Hey, what's up, buddy? Oh, I love you. I know you want to get Venom. I'm gonna have.
So close. To
You're so close. You just need some help.
No, this next part because he is Venom.
He is Venom.
Venom's mind tribe.
Oh, really? Well, I told you have to. Why don't you go around the city and do some of those city tasks?
IKEA, because
Why?
I did a task.
Oh,
So
okay.
now
Okay. So give me 10 more
Who
minutes.
are you calling?
I'm on the phone, or I'm on a live stream with my friend. I was just talking about Spider-Man. But listen,
This is adorable.
give me 10 more minutes, and then I'll help you. But I told him, I was like, you have to go around the city and do those tasks because I already watched some YouTubers like breaking down the Spider-Man game. They were like, these are the essential things because the bosses are no joke in this game. You know, they were like, this game kind of sets the bar for it being more difficult on the regular version.
Yes.
And my son's learning out the hard way. We're finding out the hard way because I was telling him, you're not going to beat these guys without the upgrades. And that means you got to go around New York City and like stop crimes, you know, find hidden things. They're all
Get
fun.
all the quests done. Get all the quests done.
And he doesn't want to. And I'm like, it's never going to happen, bud. You know, like you're going to keep asking me for help and I'm going to tell you what to do. And we're going to go through the cycle. But So let's do the Fortnite thing. Oh wow, we've already been live streaming for almost 50 minutes. Yeah, so we'll call it at an hour.
Yeah.
And this is a good way to end too, because so we'll go into Fortnite, but then I wanted to get some of your thoughts on who should be in Fortnite that definitely should not be in Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like, who should they totally put in Fortnite, but that person should definitely not also be in Fortnite? Some of those characters. I think that's a good way to wrap this first live stream up.
Okay, I have a few ideas, and
Okay.
I have a big reveal at the end. That is, we'll see where that one lands. It won't get you off of YouTube.
And you know what? Okay, good. That's the other thing. If people, hold on. Yeah, if there's people watching and you play Fortnite or know about Fortnite, I would love to see comments of who you think should be a character, but that totally is inappropriate
Definitely
as a
shouldn't be.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely shouldn't be a character. So Jack Skellington's going to be in. I've been looking because I kind of got more excited than my son, and I was like, every night at 8, we're going to check the shop and see if he's in there. And I told him, I was like, I'm buying it for you. Let's just say you did good at school, so I can just buy this and okay it with mom. You know, like let's just pretend like some accomplishment happened, so I could get away with spending the money on this. And I've been looking because Mike Myers is also Friday the 13th.
Oh, cool.
Mike Myers is going to be, which I'm shocked they haven't done a Freddy. But so Alien was just in it.
Oh,
They released Alien. They had the Walking Dead, Rick Grimes, Daryl, and I forget the girl's name.
Daryl's the greatest. I can't remember anybody else's name.
They had 3 people from Walking Dead. But there's been all these leaks. Like one theory was Mike Myers' movie came out on October 19th, 1979. That's where they're going to release it. Obviously, that time has passed. It was not true. And then finally tonight, before we jumped on the live stream, they announced, I'm pretty sure it was official, October 24th, Jack Skellington with Zero the dog as his backpack. He has a cane as like the thing to smash stuff. And
my
then
gosh.
he flies into the island on the little skeleton reindeer sled.
Oh my gosh.
Is that not the most adorable thing to go take a shotgun to people after on Fortnite Island?
I guess, man. I mean, I don't. Okay, so first one from me. Okay, first one
Yeah,
for
so
me.
who would you bring to the island?
The skin that they totally should do, but definitely
Definitely
should
should
do. Lizzo with a with the crystal flute. Okay, the Thomas Jefferson flute or John Adams flute. I forget which flute, but with
No,
the
I think it was
flute.
Thomas Jefferson, right? Oh my God.
Lizzo with the flute in her skin suit. The girl could do anything.
That just made me so sad that I didn't think of that. Like that just really depressed me because
Okay, one up me because I got some more.
Well, do you know? So the Kid Leroy, who's an Australian rapper, that's what he's classified under in iTunes, but he's not a rapper. He's like a pop singer. He doesn't even rap, or maybe he does, but his popular songs, my son loves the songs. They were like chart topping. But Kid Leroy, just as himself, is on the island, you know, and and I thought it was brilliant. Like this has become the ultimate American cliche. If you can get your character on Fortnite, your brand on Fortnite, I think that is like more American than apple pie at this point.
If you can get parodied on SNL, you've made it. I mean, that was the standard for a long time in the 90s.
This
anyway.
is the new that.
Yeah.
This is like if you can get on, because he was on there, and I was like, he's not even that well. Like he's an Australian rapper, and he's on there. So if let's stay in the music genre for a minute, because I thought, number one, I was shocked that Snoop Dogg has not been in. I thought
he will at some point.
That's a perfect.
If he wants to, he will at some point.
he ever since him and Martha Stewart started cohorting and like hawking books and TV shows, I'm like, that dude will sell anything with his name on it. But I really thought Machine Gun Kelly and an Eminem, like it has to be a duo package.
How?
Their battle.
Do you think Marshall Mathers would like be like, oh yeah, I'm cool with that?
No, he 100% wouldn't. But I think Fortnite has to proposition him if he wanted to get on. They were like, the only way we're doing it is with Machine Gun Kelly. And then an epic. I always think of it as like, do you remember Celebrity Deathmatch
Yes.
from the 90s?
Yeah.
The clay figures that would fight to a
Oh, yeah.
death.
Yeah.
I think that would be phenomenal to kind of look at this Fortnite edition thing as. So that was my one musician besides Snoop, or my duo besides Snoop. Are you staying in the music realm, or who do you have next?
I'm all over the place, but I mean,
Okay.
there are a few of them that are going to throw you for a loop, and we got 5 minutes left. So I'm going to hit two real quick, just for opposite sides of the spectrum. Ready? Because he's relevant right now and probably will be, I hope he is, Pete Davidson.
I almost put him on my list.
He's kind of perfect for it at the same time. So to get away from that, I went the complete opposite range. So let's say Pete Davidson, people are like, yeah, I could totally see that. You could see all his tattoos, and you'd be like, oh, this was his Ariana phase, this was his Kim phase, whatever, right?
Yes.
Whatever. So in complete opposite phase, the skin of all skins that they should do, that they definitely should not do, Gandhi.
Oh my God, that is and he could have a loaf of bread to smash stuff, because he wasn't eating it.
Yeah.
I forgot. Listen, one of my musician ones, and I hope you appreciate this, Cher, because she was as big as it got in the 70s, right? Like her almost into the 90s.
I was gonna say, with the 90s on the USS Missouri, I think it was, or maybe that, yeah. USS
I did a video. I did a
Do you
YouTube
believe
video
in life after love?
And now that I'm thinking about it, Madonna should be on Fortnite. I'm surprised Madonna hasn't like tried to push herself onto Fortnite Island, because that broad will do anything to keep herself relevant. All right, so I want to just rattle off a couple of them, because I
go
think
ahead.
these will be good. Donnie Darko, you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, that's
Great
a good
cult
one.
classic.
That's a good.
But Donnie and the bunny, I forget what the bunny's name is. The evil bunny that
Yeah, I
sits in
can't
the theater
remember
with him.
either. Freddie,
I don't know.
Eddie, Frankie, I can't remember.
Frank.
Frank.
That's it.
Right.
I thought the cast from Friends would be fascinating as like a bundle.
That would be a good bundle.
And I would really like to hunt Ross, just to put that out there.
Okay.
Richard Simmons,
I
thought
thought that's
would
good.
be such a fantastic one for, how they have the emotes where they do something like they dance or whatever. I thought him doing his whatever his catchphrase is, like let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel the burn, yeah.
And then along that line, I thought the Golden Girls would be.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh man, Rose. Oh no, Rose would have to
kill everybody. But B. Arthur, just like the bundle, like you said, B. Arthur or Blanche Devereaux. Oh,
is that not good?
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, here I'm gonna rant. Okay. I'm gonna do a few. Some that some people won't get, but like DB Cooper.
Oh my God, that is jumping out of the plane.
Deep dive, yes, DB Cooper. Okay, so that's one. Here's a real deep one. Okay, we got a minute and a half left, so I'm going to go into this. But Joe Pesci, but as Leo Getz from Lethal Weapon.
Oh, that I was going to say from My Cousin Vinny.
Nope.
Okay, wait.
I got to move on to the next.
Okay.
I got 3, and then we're done. But either Colonel Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards or
Gunnery Sergeant
Hartman from Full Metal Jacket.
That's a great one.
Okay, now
for you, 59 seconds left. Tom Brady in his Patriot stuff, not in his Buccaneers stuff.
Tampa Bay, yeah.
For fans, they get to know that he has 7 rings on his hands.
I don't know if you
are anymore, but they can get good at killing people as Tom Brady, or the haters can, just kill him over and over and over again. I'm telling you, people would buy that skin left and right. Okay.
So much.
That's it. That's my list.
All right. I just want to throw out there Matt Damon, because we always give Ben Affleck a hard time. I think Ben Affleck as what was his thing in Geely?
Don't care.
I don't
even want to hear it.
but I
No.
think you put him in the worst role ever. Or Ben Affleck is Batman because they have Batman in the shop right now. So
Oh,
as the
I thought of another one. This is
what?
really this is like dark humor though. This is rough. I'm gonna say it. Ready? This
Say it.
is the skin. A bottle from a bottle of water from Flint, Michigan. That is the skin. Flint, Michigan still needs water, everyone. I'm saying
Listen,
it so that it gets out there. Flint, Michigan still needs water. I'm just putting
and
that
you know
out
what?
there.
All the money from buying that little, we can call him bodily, or we can call him E. coli.
No, stop. I made it bad enough. You made it
No,
worse. Oh, that reminds me of another YouTube channel. Pete Holmes's channel. He
oh
does
really?
something you made it awkward. He interviews people. He just did Jason Mewes from Mallrats and Dogma and all that stuff.
Love Jay.
He did Maria Bamford, one of my favorite comedians of all time.
She's brilliant. Yep.
His show You Made It Awkward is brilliant. It's so personal. They get deep and dark into some mental health stuff. That's one of my favorite things to watch right now.
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make a note while we're on the live stream. And if you can too, I want to come up with a few more YouTube channels because there's so many that I truly like, love, appreciate, and think
Yeah.
more people would like to know about. And then I say we kind of wrap up each because I still have some more that I want to save for Fortnite.
Yeah.
And because Jack Skellington's coming out next week, I got to talk about playing as him and watching people kill me as him.
If this turns into a gaming channel, though, I'm out. I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you know now.
If this turns into a gaming channel, I'm out. Okay, I'll shut it down. Oh, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I think before
Yes,
we
you
got
are.
on, it was $9.99. Well, after this live stream, we might have lost a few, but
You know what we give the person who's the 1,000th subscriber? Bodily.
bodily. That is. Listen, I love that one so much because I love the anthropomorphic. Listen, that is what I have to bring next in. I don't know how to spell this. Jesus. Whatever.
Anthropomorphize. Don't worry.
Okay.
You know the word.
But those, well, I had to make a note of it because that's what I want to come up with because that's funnier than any celebrity you could put, like a brown water bottle. And this is what they do. They like do that in Fortnite. They have, I forget, there's like a gummy fish in right now. He's just like a gummy fish, like a Swedish fish guy, which that is the funniest stuff. So I expect.
I want to be clear. I am not saying it's funny. I'm saying it would point out a huge problem. I don't want to minimize the actual plight. Obviously, we are pointing out the absurdity, though. So I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, to get away with this, I say Fortnite should do it and donate all of the proceeds to them. But at the same time, a brown bottle of water that's named Flinty is
Flinty.
hilarious.
That's it.
Flinty. Oh, like gun stock Flint. Oh my God, we could go so deep. Fortnite, are you watching this? This is like we're giving it to you now.
We're your creative stuff right here. You don't need anyone else.
That's what I'll call this, the Fortnite meeting, Fortnite brainstorming session. So we'll wrap up. I don't know. Are you around this weekend?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Let's maybe there's still somebody watching. Subscribe. You could be number 1,000, and I'll make you a little bottle of brownie, or I'll draw it. You send me your address, I'll draw it and mail it to you. We'll send you Flinty. That might be the new mascot for the.
Oh my gosh, for this show. Just have a little segment. Flinty. Whatever. Okay. No.
Now I have to draw him tonight. I want to thank you for that comedic brilliance that is doing good in the world.
Stop saying brilliant and fascinating. You say those two things way too many times.
You know why? Because I want to be British. The British people call everything brilliant, and
that's true.
And I loved it so much. I try to incorporate it into everything, and I try to make it like I'm British because they're very high class. Their comedy is the best.
You don't need to do any of that stuff, man. Oh, except for the fact that Boston accent just got voted most annoying over Southern accents, and then over something else. I don't want to offend anybody. I mean,
Do you have that
can-
story? Can you send it to me?
I'll find the story and
send it to. Yeah, it just
Okay.
came out, I think, last week.
So
Don't say
Then-
rubbish. Don't say boot. Don't say.
rubbish.
You already
what would
say
you call it.
trash.
What would you? Oh, okay, I
Put
guess.
that thing in the
Rubbish.
Yeah, or like
Don't
get,
say that.
get the keys out of my wife's pocketbook. What else do you call it?
Pocketbook.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah.
crap. This is another segment we got to do.
That's what I'm saying. You're around this weekend? Let's try to connect tomorrow night around the same time, like 7. What time is it? Like 7:38 tomorrow night. Whoever's still here,
Fine.
come back. You send me that article about the mass hole stuff. We'll do and I just want to go into the YouTube channels because that's fascinating. I love learning more about it. I think it's good for the people. And if anyone wants to leave a comment about what you want us to talk about and totally
Please
degrade
do.
like Fortnite, let us know. And I
Yeah.
thank you all for watching. And this is where I'm like really horrible at stuff, but like,
Remember
subscribe.
to watch things. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment,
Comment.
hit that notification bell. See, you really don't need to do this stuff. I'm promising you. Nobody who is watching doesn't know this. This is ridiculous. But anyway, do all that stuff and go to Robb's Anotha. He doesn't say it right. Anotha, and 1 with a 3 because
that's the only handle I could get. That's the only at Anotha
Only hear your
one.
excuses. And I'm at Ample Thought. So it's been a pleasure. It's been nice seeing you, Rob. Let's try
Nice
this
seeing
again tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Okay, you have to
Let me out.
Oh, I was waiting for you to close it.
No, I'm closing you out. Goodbye.
get out of here.
Go away.